I'm sure all the parents with kids can relate to the problem of bikes being left lying around. I'm going to give you a great solution and show you how to build a bike rack where you can put all your bits and pieces that go with the bike all in one spot. It'll look fantastic. I've had my material pre-cut down at my local Bunnings, and these are the tools I'm going to use to build my bike rack. The bike rack consists of 2 frames. My first step will be to build the lower frame. Using my pre-cut timber from Bunnings, I'm now going to build the lower frame. What I need to do is set out my longer timber, then my 2 side pieces. Before I screw it together, I'm going to check that it's square. I'm going to pre-drill 2 holes in each corner so I can put the screws in each. The next step will be to do the top timber. It's the same screwing process as the bottom frame. I've got the outside of the upper frame together. My next step will be to put the mid rail in. The mid rail is there to support the bottom of the pegboard. We put the pegboard on there so you can hang some bike accessories, helmets and bits and pieces on there. So the height of that board will be the height down that I fix that into. The next step is to install the pegboard. This just sits off the top here, nice and flush. Make sure I get it positioned. What I'm going to do is use these small screws here. I'm just going to use some of these holes and drive a few screws right around it, make sure it's nice and tight. Now that I'm driving them in, they're a little bit fluffy on the top, but I'll be able to fix that with a sander. I'm using 4 of these pipes to hold my bike wheels in. You need to make sure that you're positioning these far enough apart for the bikes that you're using. I'm going to mark out my positions for my pipes on this timber here. Now this timber, this belongs in the top frame, the vertical frame. It's the same width as the one on the bottom. The pipe's going to fit in the bottom timber like this. I'm going to mark them out on my top timber that belongs in the vertical frame. Once I've got it marked out here, I'm going to transfer those lines down onto the bottom timber so they're all centered in the same positions. I've marked the position of my pipes now. I'm going to drill the holes out the pipe sits in with the spade bit. I'm going to drill my holes on an angle so my pipes line up. The holes that I'm drilling, I'm only drilling in deep enough to cover the thread on the pipe. I'm not going to drill all the way through the bottom of the timber. I'm now going to put the 4 pipes into the upper piece of timber first. Once I've done that, I'll be able to drop them in the 4 holes in the bottom. Now that I've got those in there, I'll now stand up my vertical frame and screw this into position, and then we'll put our brackets on. I'm happy with the way it looks. I'm now going to check it for square and fix everything off. One of my last steps is to secure this piece in with 2 screws on each face. Before I screw it in, I'm just going to knock down a little bit with the hammer just to make sure it's nice and parallel. Once that's done, I'll put the screws in. Bike rack's finished, it's all together, it's nice and solid. Paint it whatever you like. I'm going to paint mine red. How great does the bike rack look? It's great for storage, it keeps everything together, the kids will love using it. It looks fantastic.